my channel, so you guys can probably already tell by the title of this video, but I'm pregnant! I am so beyond excited to be sharing this news with you guys, and I cannot wait to share this pregnancy with you. I am planning on doing weekly or bi-weekly, I still haven't decided, bump dates for you guys, and so I'm here today with my very first one. I found out extremely early that I was pregnant, and so this is my 3 and 4 week pregnancy update. If you would like to see my live pregnancy test reaction, I actually did film it and share it on my vlog channel, and so I'll leave that vlog for you guys linked up in the cards and down in the description box of this video so you guys can see Miles and I finding out like right with us when we found out that we were pregnant. And yeah, it was just such a special moment, and I'm so glad that I have that memory recorded to look back upon, because I think it's just such a special moment to share and to record. And I know a lot of women choose to test by themselves and then surprise their husband, and Miles and I did discuss how we wanted to kind of handle that, and we decided, especially with this first pregnancy, that we really just wanted to test together, find out together at the same exact time, and I would not have changed it for the world. I loved finding out with him and just experiencing that excitement with him. I can't imagine testing on my own and finding out that I'm pregnant and then not having, I mean, he's my person, like not having him right there with me to scream and squeal and hug and just be excited. It just, honestly, it would have been like excruciating for me to hold all that excitement in until I could surprise him in some way. So yeah, I'm extremely happy with the way that we did things, and maybe in the future I'll do a, test ahead of time and then surprise him type of thing, but it was just the perfect way for us to find out this time together. And again, if you're new around here or you just don't know, my husband and I did go the IUI route of conceiving because my husband is trans, and so we required the use of donor sperm, and we used that in conjunction with an IUI to conceive our first child. And again, I recorded that entire journey over my vlog channel, so if you're interested in finding out more about that, I would highly recommend heading over to that channel. But today, I wanted to talk about my 3rd and 4th weeks of pregnancy, so basically from the time of conception or the date of our IUI until today, well, yesterday. Today is my flip day, so I'm exactly 4 weeks pregnant today. And as you know, if you are already pregnant or have been in the past or just are aware of pregnancy things, the first 2 weeks of pregnancy, you aren't actually pregnant since they count it from the first day of your last, or the last day of your last period. So yeah, those first 2 weeks of pregnancy, you're not actually pregnant. So my 3rd and 4th week are actually my 1st and 2nd week of physically being pregnant. So yeah, I found out very early. Like I said, we did our IUI on a Friday. It was actually on September 21st, and this was our very first attempt, and we still can't believe that it took the very first time and that I'm actually pregnant. And yeah, we can't believe that it was successful the very first time. Again, I did share a video of the things I've done in the last couple of months to prepare for our first IUI attempt, and kind of some of the things I did to prepare my body for pregnancy and to increase our chances of success. And so I would like to think some of those things played a role in the fact that we were successful our first round. And if you're interested in hearing about what I did to prepare for TTC, I will link that video again up for you in the cards. So it's kind of funny because the 2 weeks that I'm sharing with you guys in today's video is actually technically my 2-week wait. The 2-week wait is the 2 weeks between the time that you ovulate and theoretically conceive, and then the date that you are expected to get your period. And so the 2-week wait is kind of, the 2 weeks that you need to wait to find out if you are pregnant and you miss your period. Dakota. I, however, was extremely impatient and could not wait until the end of my 2-week wait. The end of my 2-week wait actually would have been today, so I would be testing this evening once Miles gets home from work if I had actually waited till the end of my 2-week wait. But like I said, very impatient, so we ended up testing on 11 DPO and found out that we were pregnant that time. So in this video, I basically wanted to walk you guys through the kind of symptoms and experiences that I've been having with my pregnancy over the last 2 weeks. And at the end of the video, I also wanted to share a couple stats with you, like my weight, and so I can kind of compare my weight throughout my pregnancy, and yeah, show you obviously a belly shot, because what is a bump date without a bump shot? So yeah, definitely you can look forward to that at the end of this video. But really quickly, I did want to kind of throw in a little disclaimer here. Pregnancy can be a little TMI at times. And so if that's not really your cup of tea, or if you know me in real life and don't really want to hear about personal things that come along with pregnancy, these videos might not be for you. So just keep that in mind if you choose to keep watching. I will be definitely talking about some very personal pregnancy related bodily functions and stuff like that. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there, but yeah, let's get started. So 1 DPO, and if you are unaware, DPO means days past ovulation. So this is the first day after my ovulation, which is also, again, the first day after my IUI. And I recorded notes about how I was feeling and the different symptoms I was experiencing each day of my, 2-week wait until I found out that I was pregnant, just in case I was pregnant. These are the earliest symptoms that I was experiencing. Some may be pregnancy symptoms, some might have been just in my head, but we'll never know because I am actually pregnant. So yeah, 1 DPO. I experienced nausea, a couple of gas pains, and a slight headache. So the nausea, it was definitely just kind of like a low-grade nausea all day long, and that was the only day I really experienced that. So I'm really not sure if it was a pregnancy symptom or what, because, first of all, it was so extremely early. It was the day after I, conceived. So I'm not sure if you can really get symptoms like that early or what was going on, but that's not something that I usually experience, so that's why I'm attributing it to pregnancy. And yeah, like I said, it wasn't anything that I couldn't really live through. I just kind of went about my normal day, but I just kind of had this low-grade yuckiness feeling, I guess is the best way to describe it. I did also experience some gas pains in the afternoon, and just kind of like stomach cramps, and I had to lay down on the couch for like half an hour and drink some kombucha until my tummy felt better. Again, not sure if that was pregnancy or something I ate or what, but that's what happened. And my final symptom from the first day is a slight headache, and I'm really not a person to get headaches, but I was experiencing kind of like a light headache in the back of my head mostly, and when I do get headaches, for the most part, they'll be kind of in the front or temporal regions. So yeah, the light headache that I had in the back of my head, I definitely thought was different than normal. So all 3 of those symptoms were pretty much exclusively to 1 DPO. So again, I don't know if those were actually pregnancy related. I don't believe they could have been from the procedure of the IUI, since it is so minimally invasive, and I don't think there should be any side effects really. So I don't know if maybe it was something I ate at some point that just made me feel a little off that day, or if it actually was in fact the first signs of pregnancy. But like I said, those symptoms pretty much went away for the rest of these last 2 weeks. On 2 DPO, I felt a little bit of breast tenderness, but that for the most part went away until my 4th week of pregnancy. On 3 DPO, this is actually really funny. So I think this was my first legitimate pregnancy symptom, if the others were just made up in my head or had some other cause. First thing in the morning, my pee started smelling funny. And I noticed that, and I was like, I wonder if this is a pregnancy thing, because it just smelled different than normal. And like, I don't know, my pee doesn't normally smell. So I looked it up online, and sure enough, some women are able to actually smell the HCG hormone, which is the pregnancy hormone, in their pee. And so that has continued like up until now. It still has that just funny, different smell to it. So I guess I'm one of those women that can just smell the HCG. So that was interesting, and that is definitely a pregnancy symptom. I also had increased mood and energy, and this definitely held true for most of the rest of the 2-week wait. I did definitely have some dip in energy a little later and a little more increased irritability, but for the most part, both my mood and my energy like skyrocketed. And again, I don't know if this is a pregnancy symptom or just the fact that I was very excited about the possibility of being pregnant, but I had so much energy and I was just in such a great mood. Sometimes I was even kind of like bordering on manic-ish. I was so happy. And Miles was like laughing at me because I was just being crazy some days because I was just so happy and so energized, and I'm just not normally like that. I'm normally a very like chill, relaxed, calm person. But yeah, I also couldn't really sit still. I was like constantly running around doing something in the house, and I would love to be like that all the time because I was so productive over the last 2 weeks. I got like all of my chores done. I just tackled all sorts of projects that I've been putting off, and I had so much energy. So yeah, loved that symptom, and that continued, like I said, for the next couple of days. On 4 DPO, I had this weird single cramp in the morning. So I was like waking up and I was still laying in bed, and it was like a single period cramp. It's like my uterus just kind of went like, it like contracted and then released, and that was it. So I had a single cramp in the morning, and I don't know if that, I don't think that could be implantation cramping, because 4 DPO is really early for implantation. So again, I don't really know what that was. All right, skipping ahead to 6 DPO, my nipples started getting really sore, and that's definitely continued throughout the next like week and a half from when it started. They just are really tender and sore. They're not like as sore as I feel like they could be or are probably going to get with pregnancy, but they definitely are like more tender than normal. And also, my boobs have gotten huge. Like, I didn't think this was gonna happen until later in pregnancy, but they've already, I'm pretty sure I've already gone up a cup size, which is pretty insane for me, considering most of my life I struggled to fill A cups, and now to be considering actually buying a B cup bra is just beyond bonkers for me. So yeah, and like I said, I wasn't expecting your boobs to grow until like later in pregnancy, so I'm just shocked that that's happened so fast already, and they're just very full and sore and large. So that's another symptom. Like I said, a little bit TMI. All right, and so 7 DPO is when I really started getting a little snippy and emotional. I have written down, this is the day that I definitely started like snipping at Miles and just being a little more irritable, and he can definitely vouch for that. This was the first day that Miles was like, I think you're pregnant, because I was just being so emotional. I like was tearing up over things that I just normally wouldn't tear up over, and like, I don't even know, I was just being very sensitive over the next like day or two is when it was really like, I would say really severe. But even after that, I think I've continued to kind of be on and off irritable and snippy. So yeah, there's that. Miles is not loving it, but he obviously understands that like it's pregnancy and I really can't help it, and I'm trying my best to just be nice to my husband. Then on 9 DPO, this is a really fun symptom. So it's not actually like a bodily symptom that I experienced, but on 9 DPO, my dog Dakota, I have a little 5-pound Pomeranian for those of you who don't know, and she just started being so clingy and snuggly that day. Like normally she's very attached to me, so normally she pretty much follows me around the house and will kind of just be with me. But on that day in particular, like constantly throughout the day, she was like whining to be up in my lap, and like would just hang out in my lap for like an hour or two and just like wanted to be nowhere other than my lap. And even when my husband and I were hanging out in our backyard, normally we have like a long lead that we like attach her to so she can just kind of wander on her own. And even while we were outside, she just wanted to hang out on my lap and sleep. So yeah, supposedly dogs are able to detect, you know, hormones and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure Dakota was the first one to know that I was pregnant. Okay, so 10 DPO was the day that I really started to get anxious and worried that I wasn't pregnant, because I had stopped really experiencing physical symptoms that I could kind of see, and like even if they were all in my head, they were kind of reassuring me that, you know, okay, I could be pregnant, I might be pregnant. But since they had kind of stopped over the last couple days before 10 DPO, I started just being really nervous that, you know, I wasn't feeling, you know, sick yet, and I wasn't, I don't know, I read a couple of articles about the earliest pregnancy symptoms that you can experience, and I wasn't experiencing any of them. And so I started getting really worried that I wasn't in fact pregnant and that I had gotten my hopes up. And so yeah, I just started on that day really doubting if I was pregnant. But I also did start, actually, I'm not sure when it really started, but I have it written down that I started getting face and chest breakouts. And I wrote this down, I remember, after I'd already had it for like a day or two, because it like clicked that could be a symptom. So that might have started around 8 or 9 DPO, but my face definitely started breaking out, as well as my chest. My chest definitely, I would say, more severely than my face. It's not like severely, but there's just a bunch of tiny little like breakouts. And yeah, I also got one really big pimple on my cheek. But again, I'm not sure if that's from pregnancy, because I do have acne sensitive skin, so that could just be completely unrelated. But the active full-blown breakout, I'm pretty sure, is pregnancy related. All right, and then like I said, so on 11 DPO, I was just getting really, really anxious and nervous and worried that I wasn't pregnant. And yeah, I was just feeling really anxious, and so I just finally decided, like, I can't take this anymore, I need to test. And kind of had the mindset of, I'm going to test this evening just to hopefully try and set my mind at ease one way or the other. And even if it was negative, I knew it was possible that it would be negative because it was very, very early. 11 DPO is very early to start testing, and so I knew that a false negative was a possibility, but and I could test again in the future, but I couldn't hold off anymore. I just needed to test. So that's the night that Miles and I tested when he got home. I did 3 pregnancy tests. One was a cheap strip test, the Easy at Home brand that like everyone uses. I used a first response line test, and then I used a Clear Blue digital test. And all 3 of those were very, very, they were not, I would say blaringly positive, because some, especially that early, I was shocked at how positive they were, and then it showed up on the digital test because a lot of women that early, the line is still so faint that you really have to like squint to be able to see if there's a line or not. But like all the 2 line tests both clearly had 2 lines, and then the digital test, like I said pregnant. So yeah, I was very pregnant. And that was just really great to see, and just kind of, you know, obviously have my mind at ease and be able to settle into being purely excited and yeah, being pregnant. And since then, so 12 DPO and 13 DPO, which would have been yesterday, I have started experiencing extreme hunger. Like, I am just hungry all day long. And I normally am more of a grazer than, you know, just eating 3 set meals, but I've been like, you know, actively getting like, you know, a growling stomach for like, you know, an afternoon snack. So yeah, I've just been a lot hungrier than I normally am, and just I have started eating more than I normally do, I believe. But I've also been really conscious about making sure that I am eating a healthy diet, and I have been eating smoothies for breakfast and then choosing a healthy lunch for myself each week. And I also have stocked up on healthy snacks, and so I really don't mind kind of indulging in myself whenever I do get really hungry and, you know, want multiple snacks in the afternoon, because I know that I am eating healthy snacks even though I am increasing my intake, if that makes any sense. Alright, and that finishes up all of my actual symptoms that I've experienced, and I also did jot down a couple more notes that weren't necessarily like pregnancy symptoms tied to like, you know, a specific day, but as soon as, so I made the decision to cut out soda and coffee altogether during pregnancy. If I want like, you know, one here and there, like, you know, 1 a month or something, I'm not going to be super strict with myself about it, but I'm no longer drinking coffee every single day. And I have also, I just decided I don't want to drink soda at all while I'm pregnant. So that is actually the one thing that I started not craving, but just really missing, because I feel like as soon as I told myself like, no, you can't have any more Dr. Pepper is my soda of choice, is when I started being like, well, I want it. Even though I was like fine with, I would probably drink maybe a soda a week before I was pregnant, and I just started really like feeling like I was, you know, restricting myself. And so I did end up getting myself some Dr. Zevia, and Zevia is sugar-free, I don't know, it's like a healthy soda basically. It does have caffeine, although I believe it's only 40 milligrams or micrograms or whatever, which is a range that I am comfortable with drinking in a drink. So yeah, while they're not exactly like Dr. Pepper, they have definitely taken the sting out of not being able to drink regular soda. And I also think that I might have discovered my first craving, although I'm not sure if this is like a legit craving or not, but over the last, I would say, week or so, I have definitely experienced an increased desire or craving for chocolate. And I'm not normally a person, I have a very under control sweet tooth. You know, I can eat just the amount of candy that I want and not, you know, I don't know, I can control myself. I don't normally constantly crave sweets and chocolate and stuff like that. So I'm more of like a savory craver usually. But over the last week, I have a Crunch Bar every day after dinner for dessert. That's my, like, you know, dessert of choice. And yeah, normally I am able to wait like an hour or so after I eat dinner to have my Crunch Bar, but recently I have been wanting my Crunch Bar like immediately after dinner. Like as soon as I finish eating, I'm like, okay, time for crunch. And I've also just been having like throughout the days just random like, I want chocolate. Just like all of a sudden it'll just pop in my head like, I really want something chocolate. And I also like, I didn't notice this for the first couple of days, and I even ended up like, one night I had 2 Crunch Bars because I was like, that one didn't hit the spot, I need another one. And then on a different day, I actually had a Crunch Bar in the middle of the day, which is completely unheard of for me. So yeah, after like a couple of these things kept happening, I was like thinking about it, I was like, that's really weird, this really isn't like me, and this has been happening a lot, where I've just like wanted more chocolate than I normally do. So I don't know if that's my very first craving, or if I am just wanting more chocolate for a different reason or what, but there's that. And then I have also started my pregnancy journal in these last 2 weeks. So I talked about this a lot over on my vlog channel. I actually did a full flip through of the interior of this pregnancy journal, so if you're interested in that, I'll again put it up the cards for you and the description box of this video. But I chose the Bump Pregnancy Journal by Write to Me, and it's just beautiful. It has a really nice linen cover and a gold foiled title, as well as, you know, the spine has Bump, a pregnancy story written on it, and I just like, I don't know, I really, really like this pregnancy journal, and so I actually bought it. If you watch my TTC video, you know that I bought it a couple months ago so that as soon as I was pregnant, I would be prepared and I wouldn't have to, you know, especially because this came from Australia. So if I waited until I found out that I was pregnant to order a pregnancy journal, I probably wouldn't have this until I was like 2 months pregnant or something like that. So yeah, I'm really happy I had this on hand and ready to go so I could start filling it out right away. And I'm excited to fill this up with lots of memories. So yeah, I think that's all I have to fill you guys in on. That's what's been going on my 3rd and 4th week of pregnancy. And now we can kind of get into the statistics and bump shot portion of the video. So this morning, I'm 4 weeks today. So today is my flip day, so I'm entering my 5th week of pregnancy. My weight as of this morning was 117 pounds. My pre-pregnancy weight that I'm going off of is 116 pounds, and so I've gained a single pound. And I'm pretty sure it's just all bloat because, that's another thing I forgot to mention. I've definitely been a little more bloated and just, I don't know, just a little more, you know, bloated around the tummy area. And so yeah, that's something I do have to throw out there for when I show you guys my bump, although there really isn't any bump because I've already eaten lunch today. So my bump is probably 50% lunch, 50% bloat, and 0% baby, but it is what it is. Alright, so this might be a little difficult because I am on this chair, but I'm going to do my best to show you the full bump. So this is from the side, weeks 3 and 4. And with pants down, so like I said, there's a little pudge right here, but it's still too early to see the baby, so obviously it's just me. And then here's the front. And the other side. And I also I thought it'd be really fun to kind of measure the bump each week, and so I have this measuring tape, and so yeah, let's see how big the bump is. I really like this measuring tape. It's like perfect for a bump measurement because it has a little thing to kind of hold the other end in, and then you can tighten it to what you need it to be. Is that where you're supposed to measure? I'm not really sure. I think that's like, I don't know, but yeah. So I think I am around right at 31 for weeks 3 and 4. So yeah, I think that'll just be really fun to kind of see the bump progress throughout my pregnancy and see how all of the measurements change and obviously increase throughout pregnancy. And yeah, it might get a little harder to maneuver myself around on this chair as I get more and more massively pregnant, so I might have to rethink my background for those. So who knows if I'll need to kind of rethink my strategy for then, but for now this worked just fine. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. I am so beyond excited to have filmed this update. You guys have no idea how long I have been waiting to film my very own pregnancy updates. if you've been following me, you might already know, but being a mom is just so important to me, and I thoroughly believe that that's like my calling in life and what I'm meant to do. And so yeah, I've already been following mommy like vloggers and channels on YouTube for quite some time and watching their pregnancy journeys and their pregnancy updates, and yeah, it's just so crazy that it's finally my turn to share my pregnancy and record all the changes. And yeah, I'm so happy. I can't say it enough. I'm so happy. I also thought it'd be really fun to include a section of these pregnancy updates, some of the questions you guys might have had from the previous week. And so if you guys have any questions at all relating to this pregnancy, please leave them down in the comments below and I will answer them, or some of them, depending on how many I get, in my next pregnancy update. And also let me know if you guys prefer to see weekly or every other week pregnancy updates. Obviously this is my first time being pregnant, and so I don't know how much is going to change in one specific week, especially this early. So I don't know if it would just be better to do a video every other week so that I have more information to share in a single video, or if you guys just don't care and want to see them every single week regardless. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And I think I'm gonna wrap things up. So I hope you guys enjoyed my very first pregnancy update, and yeah, give it a big old thumbs up if you are excited for baby Rosner. Oh, I did forget to say, I should be due in June. I believe I kind of calculated my own due date based off my ovulation date. Since we did do IUI, it's pretty easy to say that's when I got pregnant. So my due date according to my ovulation date is June 14th, 2019. So yeah, that might change once I go see an actual OB or midwife, but for now, that's my due date. But yeah, I really am gonna end things here now, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a big thumbs up, it means a whole lot to me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!